Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And today's video is going to be all about product photography. I'm basically just going to update you guys on what I'm currently using to take my photos, how I'm taking my photos, the backgrounds, the editing, kind of all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get right on into the video. So pretty much from the very start of me starting my candle business, when I first got into trying to actually take photos of my products, it was very difficult and very challenging in the beginning, but I really worked on it. I watched a ton of videos and tried to basically just teach myself how to take better photos of my products. And I actually first started on my iPhone. So I took my first photos on my iPhone 6, and then I started taking photos on my iPhone 8 Plus, which is the phone that I have right now. And then from there, I actually got a camera, which is my Canon M50, which is actually the one that I'm filming on right now. However, since then, I've actually gotten multiple lenses to use on my M50, and that's what I'm going to show you guys right now. So I was under the impression when I first got this camera, the camera that I'm filming with right now, which is the Canon M50, I was under the impression that as soon as I got this camera, my quality of videos and photos was just going to improve drastically. And I was very wrong. And that was just simply because I just wasn't as educated on cameras as I am now. So I've learned that it's not always about the camera that you get, but about the lens that you use. So this lens right here that I'm showing you guys is actually the kit lens. So a kit lens is the lens that comes with the camera. So this one right here is a 15 to 45 millimeter lens. And in and of itself, it's really not that great of a lens. I'm sure that really good photographers can take some really awesome photos with this lens, but I just really wanted to upgrade, and that is why I decided to get the lens that I am filming with right now, which is a 22 millimeter lens. And essentially the difference between these lenses is that this one lets less light in than the one that I am filming with right now. So the more light that can come in, the lower the aperture that you can set it to, the difference of the focal point. So if you guys can tell, I am very you can see me very sharp and the background is a little bit blurry. If I were to put in this lens right now, it would not look like that and it would look much darker. And with my limited experience of photography so far, that is the most basic and simplistic explanation I can give to you guys. And in terms of another lens that I've gotten, this is a 50 millimeter lens. So this lens is a lot more zoomed in and you can still play around with the focal distance, have that blurred background. And this has been my photography lens for the longest time. And what I took all of my Christmas photos with, I will try to pop some up so you guys can actually see what I have done with this lens on my camera. And I have really loved this one. It was a huge upgrade to what I was using before. And actually, I am thinking back now, I actually got this one before I got the one that I'm filming with right now. I have a few different lenses. So this is the kit lens that it came with. Then I got the 50 millimeter lens, and then I got the 22 millimeter because I was filming with this, and all of my videos where I filmed with the 50 millimeter, I was like super up close and the background was super blurry. And it was really cool to film with at first, but I just felt like I was just way too close up to the camera. So the 22 millimeter has been such a good kind of midpoint for me, and I love this lens and I use it every time I film now. Also, real fast, just for those of you that have been curious about which camera I'm using, if you're trying to update your quality, I've had so many people ask me what camera I use, and just keep in mind that you don't have to get the Canon M50, but if you do choose to get a Canon M50, which is a mirrorless camera, you have to make sure that you get an adapter for certain lenses. So that's still something that I'm learning on which lenses need an adapter and which ones don't. For instance, the 22 millimeter lens that I'm using right now does not need an adapter, but the 50 millimeter does, and also the next lens that I'm about to show you guys does as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there. The next lens is my most recent and most expensive lens that I have purchased so far. I got this last month and I'm absolutely in love with it. It is beautiful, and this is the Canon macro lens. So it is the L series of lenses. I still don't really know what that means. All I know is that it's more of like the professional upscale version of Canon lenses, and it is 100 millimeters. So this just means that it is very zoomed in. So I have to sit really far back when I am taking photos with it, and actually my camera is cropped in further. So I actually have to stand further back on using my camera versus using another kind of camera. Again, I don't know all of the specifications of all this. I'm still learning it, but I just know that with my camera, it's even more zoomed in than 100 millimeters. So I really have to sit far and lean back when I'm taking my photos, but it's well worth it because I absolutely love it. So now I want to talk to you guys about my Replica surfaces that I recently got. So if you guys don't know what Replica surfaces are, they are basically just like these poster boards that are supposed to look like different kinds of finishes. That's the best way I can describe it. I've been seeing advertisements for them everywhere. I think that Jeff did a video on them a little while ago, and I just really wanted to try them out. And I decided one day when I really, you know, when you get really motivated and you're really excited, you're kind of obsessed with something, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. It's gonna be so much better than trying to take photos with my poster boards like I've been using. I've only been using just white poster boards, and I have really been wanting to change up the look of my photos just in general. I have always been very obsessed with a contrast. So I've been wanting a really, really white background to contrast my black jars. And I have been wanting to change the look of my photos for so long now. I just didn't like the way my Instagram feed looked like. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change it. And I like more of just a grayish tone to it. It doesn't have to be stark white. Looking back now at my photos, I do see that the exposure of them, they were definitely overexposed when I didn't think that they were overexposed. So it's a lot of learning through this process of me kind of getting better at product photography and learning more skills about it. So by getting these surfaces, it allows me to have a different look, have a look that I want for my photos, and not just try to have that really, really stark white background like I was using before, and actually have a little bit more dimension to it. So what I want to do right now is show you guys what it looks like when I am looking through this lens and wanting to take a product photo. So I just did a simple setup of my camera with my little plant in the background. And what I'm able to do is actually do a manual focus. So on this lens, you can set it to either manual or autofocus, and I set it to manual, and I'm able to adjust it. And a lot of times when I am taking photos of products, especially if I have multiple products in the display in the photo setup that I'm doing, I'm able to actually adjust on each one of them. So it's interesting to play around with it and actually set it to different lengths or whatever the focus is, and be able to try to get that crisp, clean image with the blurred background. And just know, you guys, this is just something that I personally wanted to do. I know that product photography is something that you can definitely outsource and have other people do, but I personally really love learning that skill and gaining that skill and actually doing it. I really, really enjoy it, especially the editing process. Now, when it comes to actually taking photos, you don't have to go out and buy something like a $1,300 lens with your camera. It's not necessary at all. In fact, if you guys did want to purchase a camera, let's say like the M50, getting the 50 millimeter lens, this is $100 versus $1,300. This can pretty much almost do the exact same thing. I just really wanted to have a crisper look to my photos that this one wasn't allowing me to do. But this one still gave me really, really good photos, and I have used this for a long time. I just really wanted to upgrade, and that's why I got this one. And also keep in mind, guys, you don't even need to go out and buy an actual DSLR camera in order to take your product photos with. I have taken so many photos using just my phone, and especially if you have portrait mode, that allows you to get that nice blurry background without having to actually purchase a DSLR camera with a nicer lens in order to do that. So I'm going to pop up right here just showing you guys what it looks like on portrait mode and seeing the photo afterwards to see actually what it looks like, and that you can actually still still get a really nice photo using just your phone. And the last thing that I have changed up when it comes to my product photography is editing. So I used to edit a completely different way. I used to actually go onto an app called Snapseed to edit most of my product photos because I was able to get a really white background using one of their features. And I have completely changed that, and I don't do that anymore. I actually exclusively just use Lightroom to edit my photos. Now I have the Lightroom desktop version that I paid for in the bundle with Photoshop, or you can get just the free app on your phone, the free Lightroom app, and you can do everything the same. And I'm actually looking into maybe creating some presets to sell on my Etsy shop if you guys would be interested. I love editing, and I've loved presets for so long. I've purchased many of them. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. But I just, have completely changed up the way that I want my website to look, my Instagram feed, just all of my photos. I just want them to look a little bit softer and not so contrasted. In the beginning, I really love that contrasted look, but this is just kind of how I've decided to change and kind of move on from that, from how I used to take my photos. And I'm really, really excited. I love these Replica surface backgrounds that I got. No, this video isn't sponsored, but if you guys want to sponsor me, let me know. I love their surfaces. Yeah, they're very expensive, just so you guys know. So if you guys look them up and you're just like, oh my God, like they're very expensive. But to me, it's worth it because first of all, it's beautiful, and the setup is very easy because you can kind of have it in like that L shape. But also you get all these different surfaces that you can't get when you have a piece of cardboard. I guess you could go down to like a department store and get like some sort of material or whatever. I just like that these are all the same size. You can put them together. It's easy. I have really been trying to make it as easy as possible for me to do things, and this has made it very easy. So I think I'm probably going to end it here before I talk forever, but I love product photography, and I hope this helps some of you guys out, just kind of seeing how I do things. I know this wasn't really like a how-to video or anything, but I hope that seeing what I use helped you guys out in any way. If it did, please let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Also, when I was using my 50mm lens, I wasn't able to say you guys because I was like, I'm no joke, I was like this far away from the camera. So I'd be like, you guys, it didn't work out. So I had to get another one. I had to be able to do the you guys part. But it was just because I wasn't as knowledgeable in photographs. In photographs? You weren't knowledgeable in photographs? Okay. No, don't do it. Don't do it. No. No.